Hello and welcome to this new Android development tutorial. This is part 4 on how to make a camera application for Android. In the previous videos we learned how can we add the flash feature and the switch camera feature. In this video we will keep learning more to improve our application and make it more feature rich. Okay, so we still are not able to take photos, right? So we have to create a button that will take photos. So I'm gonna create a button in the middle of these two right here, and we call it button. Width will be 0 dp. Okay. The height will be match parent. The weight will be 1. The ID will be take photo, for example. Take photo, and the text will be take photo. Okay, awesome. So now to implement this in code, we will go to our main activity.java, and we have to be able to take a picture with that button. Okay, so after the switch camera button we created here, we're gonna say final button, and we're gonna say take photo button will be set to find byip.r.id that take photo. We're gonna go and set a listener by saying take photo button that set on click listener, new on click listener, and inside this click listener we will do the following. We'll open a try block, and inside that we're gonna say camera that take picture will pass null. Okay, null, and we'll pass picture. So picture is a object that we haven't created yet, so we have to create it now. Okay, which is the camera picture callback. So after the onResume method we will do just that. We're gonna say private camera dot picture callback. We'll call it picture because that's the name we used above. Picture new camera dot picture callback. Okay, camera dot picture callback. What's going on here? So it's gonna say new, so it's not a method, so I'm gonna say just camera dot picture callback. No, that's preview callback, it's picture callback. New picture callback. We'll open this element right here. Okay, you're gonna end with a semicolon, and inside this what we will do is the following. So we will override the onPictureTaken method. So you can say public void onPictureTaken, and inside this you're gonna say byte array data. So this is the picture data. I'm gonna say camera. Okay, so we have overridden this method. So when the picture is taken, this method will be called. So we have to save the picture to the file storage. For that we're gonna say file output stream. We'll call it FOS, for example. So don't remember to import these two. So FOS, and we will set this to new file output stream, and we have to create some sort of file here, right? Okay, so we're gonna create a method that will be about creating a saving a file to be saved, right? Okay, so outside this method right here, we're gonna say we will create a file path actually that will store the current date. So the name of the picture will be the date. So you're gonna say private static string save file. We will pass it a file path. So string file path. And inside this method we will do the following. File f will be equal to, oh, don't forget to import this. File f will be equal to new file with the file path parameter. Okay, and now I'm gonna say if f dot exists, actually if it doesn't exist, so negation, if negation if negation f exists, so if f doesn't exist, we will create the directory. So you can say f dot make dir. So the path is a directory, f dot make dir. Okay, and we will return the file path. So you're gonna say return f plus forward slash plus new simple date format. It will pass like the format of the date, so it can be for month, uppercase now lowercase dd for day, uppercase ha for hour, lowercase for minutes, and lowercase ss for seconds. Okay, and you're gonna say dot format, and we're gonna pass it calendar dot get instance dot get time. Okay, so in this way we get time, and we will return basically this. Okay, if we go back to our picture callback, to our picture method, we have to set the previously file output stream to the following. So we're gonna set this to save file, which will return the path, and what we will pass it will be string dot value of, and we're gonna say environment dot get external storage public directory. So let me put this in new line for better visualization purposes. So environment that get external public directory. Okay, and basically what we have to pass inside this is environment that directory pictures. So we will save our photo to the pictures directory, and after these three right here, we're gonna save it as JPEG file. So you can say .jpg. Okay, we can end the line. So that's the file output stream. So to write the data, actually what we have to do is say FOS dot write data. Okay, and we have to close it. So you can say FOS dot close. So this may produce an exception, so we have to surround it with a try catch block. So you can say before this try, we'll open it and we'll put all these lines inside the try block. Okay, and we will then close it with a catch exception E or something. Okay, and you're ready to go. Okay, so this is the picture callback, right? Awesome. Now we have to go back to our take picture thing right here. Let me see where we were previously. So we go back to our take photo button and we go and say m camera that take picture null m picture, and the next line we will do is m camera dot start preview in order to resume and restart the preview, which is again awesome. And we also have to end the try with a catch, so catch exception E. Okay, and now we have the take photo feature ready to be used. So let's run the app now and test if the feature works or not. So let me see, we're installing the APK. And as you can see, let me move this thing. Okay, so we have our take photo and switch camera. By the way, we have to put in a space here between these. If we click on take photo, as you can see, the photo is taken, but we're not yet able to browse it. So if we use another app to browse the photo, maybe we can see it. So let me see if I have a kind of gallery app. Let's see if this works. Okay, now this is not what we want. So maybe another files application right here. So if I open the files application, okay, what's going on here? So let me see. If I open the files application and I go to here and show internal storage, I go to Android SDK and I go to pictures, I have no items right here. So why is that? Well, it's actually easy. The reason of that is that we don't have the permissions to write the file. Okay, to get those permissions, we will do the following. So we have to declare them on the manifest as the first step. So after we declared the camera permission, we will declare the storage's permission. So you can say uses permission, write external storage, okay, and also uses permission, read external storage, okay. And after we've done this, we will go back to our main activity.java. And remember, on the first tutorial, we set up the permissions and I told you that we will be needing more permissions. So we'll go to our permissions array here, and we specified the other permissions. So the first one, the next one being manifest.permission.write external storage, and the next manifest.permission.read external storage. Now we have these permissions. We have to change permissions count to 3 because we now have 3. And now we will run the app again to check if this works, or maybe we have to do something additional to this. So let's see. As you can see, it says allow camera to access photos, media, and files on your device. I'll say allow. Okay. And if I press take photo right there, and if I go to our file manager, maybe now we can see that the photo exists right here, and the photo was taken successfully by our application. So right now you can take actual photos with this application we just made. We can switch the camera, okay, and we can take photos and keep doing this for as long as we want, which is of course awesome. So let's check the code a bit to see if everything is working as we expect. Of course, let's do some testing because the app can actually have lots of bugs right now. So let's run the app again on the emulator right here, and we will press on the, so let me see what's going on. So we will press on the home button to resume, to close the app, and I will open the app again, and still works surprisingly. Okay, so it still works quite well. Let's go to our code and check for some inconsistencies or something like that. Okay, let's see. So right here we have that this field requires API level 16 and the current one is 15. So you're gonna change that too. So we go to our Gradle scripts, build that Gradle module app, and we'll change it from 15 to 16. And we will sync now. Okay, so every time we modify this file, we have to sync it now. If you don't find this button, you can find this elephant button up here and click on it. So we wait for the sync to be completed. We now can close this and this should be gone. So now this warning is gone. Okay, so we have request permissions, our permissions denied, the request permissions, all of these. So is camera initialized? So as you can see, we are initializing the camera every time we go on our onResume method, which is kind of a, we can improve these a bit later. So we're not using this flag because we're not changing it. And if we were changing it, we have to initialize it again. So let me show what I want to say. So if here I set is camera initialized to true, okay, and I run the app again, let's see what happens. So on the first run, I don't think we will notice any change. So let's wait it for the compilation to finish. So, but remember that when the onPause method is called, we are releasing the camera in order to enable other apps to use it. Okay, so we're installing the app right now. And as you can see, the camera still works, but only because onCreate was called. So now I want to illustrate what I want to say. So if I press the home button, okay, and I open the camera app again, right here, then nothing is shown. So it's not working because the flag was set to false. So how can we fix this? Okay, what's set to true actually. So how can we fix this? Okay, so every time, so if the camera is not initialized, we have to initialize it right here. But we have some code right here that we can avoid to call again. Okay, so the simple solution is just to don't use this at all. But that won't be very efficient. So we will figure out ways to make this more efficient in the next tutorial. So let's continue with these. Then we have the picture callback right here. Okay, save file, switch camera, on pause, release camera, which works great. Now the camera effects are not yet implemented, but we will implement them in a later tutorial, okay? So we're now just checking these, that works fine. If we go, we have to also check something else, the rotation of the device. So let's go and run it. So Let's do the quick fix of this, that we will comment this is camera initialized true. We will comment this so we won't have that problem. That is the quick, not very efficient fix, but it's a fix nevertheless. So we're gonna say, we're gonna go to the camera right here, and we will rotate the device. And when we rotate it, as you can see, the camera also rotated, even though these guys don't rotate because it's better that they keep in that way. So even if we rotate this way in the other side, we can still, the upside down, we can still use the application, right? So as you can see, it works great. So here we have tested that the app is kind of working great. If we switch the camera, it's switching. If we switch back, it's switching back. If we take photo, it's taking. So I will put in a space here between take and photo. So let's do it right now. So that minor fixes that are kind of important too. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, so I'm gonna go to activity main and take photo. Gonna put in a space right there. I'll run the app again right now to check if it works. Okay, now take photo. It has the desired look. Okay. Now, when we want to change these kind of effects, I was saying, color effect or that kind of stuff, we will see how can we fix them. Okay, so let me check effects. So the camera effects have to be initialized as we did actually when we call it on the has flash. So exactly, we are actually here. As you can see, we're initializing it. But then how can we use them? Okay, so how can we use these effects? Okay, so we will implement this actually in this tutorial because I don't think it's very complicated, actually easy to do. Okay, to implement this, we have to maybe create another button. So we're gonna go to our activity main, and maybe before the take photo button, we're gonna say button with 0dp height match parent weight 1. The ID will be effects, and the text will also be effects. So we have created it in XML. Now we will go and create it in Java. So to do that, we're gonna go to our onResume method, and here maybe just before you take photo button, we're gonna say final button effects button. We're gonna set this to find view by ID id that effects, and we're gonna say effects button that set on click listener new on click listener. And how can we change the effect? So we have an array that has the effects, right? Okay, so we will have to kind of store an effect index. So we're going to create a global variable right here, which will be private int effect index, as you can see. Of course, it can be set to 0, but not really necessary, but okay. Okay, so we have effect index. If we go back to our effects button, what we want to do is first we can say p dot set color effect. We'll set cam effect dot get the effect at effect index. Okay, I'm gonna say m camera dot set parameters p, and after this we will increase the effect index. So I can say effect index plus plus, and to avoid an index out of bound exception we'll do the following: if effect index is equal maybe to cam effect that size, which basically we are out of bounds here. I'm gonna say effect index will reset that to 0. So kind of in a wheel will be reset when it reaches the end and it goes back to the start and so on. So now we're gonna run the app and check if our effects actually work or not. Hopefully they will work. Okay, now it's installed in the APK. I'm switching to the emulator. Let's change where the camera is pointing to kind of see an effect. And if I press an effect, do you notice any change? I don't really notice. Maybe it's because of the emulator, right? Maybe it's because the emulator that we don't have effects here. So let's see if we are storing the effects right on the kind of on the has flash feature. So when we call has flash, right here we are storing get support color effects. Okay, which is kind of okay. Okay, so what we have to do here is if we click on effects, it doesn't happen anything, at least in my eyes. Maybe it depends on the device, maybe this emulator doesn't have that feature. So if I switch camera, maybe here we can have some effects. Not really. So it's not working for this device, but in some devices it will work and in others it won't. So in order for us to improve this functionality, what we will do is we will set when so we're gonna go and to the flash thing. So has flash right here. When we are here, we're gonna say if. So first of all, let me see. If cam effect that size equals 0, we have to hide it. But we won't do it from here. We will do it from the onResume method. So let me see right here. Maybe right here. I'm gonna say it if effects, if cam effects that size equals 0, we will go and say, well, actually after the button should be this. So after this thing, we're gonna do this. We're gonna say effects button that set visibility and gone. Okay, so we're gonna run the app again and see what happens. So I'm running the app and checking right now. As you can see, we still have the effects button, but the effects are not being produced. Well, this is an issue of the emulator. In a real device, this won't happen. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I see you in the next video. Bye.